Hi, I'm Kimberly Woodard with Abbey Holiday Realtors. I've been selling real estate in the DFW area for over 22 years, and today I have Jannasch with Town Square Mortgage here. He is owner and branch manager. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to do this again.
Yes. Well, let's talk predictions.
Wow.
We're going to talk about Jeff and Kimberly's predictions for 2024.
And on the record, we don't know each other's predictions yet.
We don't. And so this will be lots of fun.
Yeah.
So what is your prediction for 2024? One of your predictions.
Okay. Yep. So I think what we need to talk about is we got real estate and we got rates and all these things kind of all tie together to what is going to happen. And so I'm going to stick by what I've been saying, all along here, which is I think March is when things are going to start kicking in pretty good.
Okay.
And so I think right now you're going to see rates drop. They're going to continue to drop. We just had some big drops here.
Yeah.
And we're in December right now. And so I think those are going to continue all the way till March. And I think March, you're going to start seeing people really kind of start jumping back in the market because that's generally when they do anyway, right? So it's not like going out on a great big prediction. But I think rates will continue to trickle down until then. And then I think what will happen is we're going to start getting in the summer, and I think you're going to have a much bigger drop in those rates. And I think we're going to start touching into the fives on the rates. And I think we're going to have a lot of people then start jumping into the market. So I think we're going to have a little bit of a spurt, and then we're going to have a big spurt. And a lot of that prediction comes back on we have an election year.
Yep.
Right now. So I think that is going to make everybody try to make things look pretty really fast. So they're going to start dropping rates, getting everybody excited, everybody in the market. And then you're going to see this, probably not what we saw in 2021 or 2022. I don't think that, or 2021 mainly, but I think we'll see kind of a smaller version of that. Because, as you know, and I'll ask you what your predictions are, there's been a lot of people that have been dying to go buy houses, but they just, why would you do that when the rates are so high?
Yes, I have some of those clients. And, when the rates got up to, that 8, almost, I think there was a heart attack. And they just put the brakes on.
Right.
But I think we will see that. And then on the flip side with inventory's always been, we're such a high demand in our DFW area. And so inventory has still consistently been not to the high levels.
Right.
You'll go through neighborhoods and you won't see any for sale signs.
I know, isn't that crazy?
But I think we'll start to see our generations that are retiring that they'll start looking at, okay, this is the time to maybe sell my house and downsize, change of floor plan, change of lifestyle, type of thing. And I think we will see that maybe some of our older neighborhoods where these people have been there for so long, and kind of revitalizing with our younger families coming in and going into these neighborhoods as well.
Right.
So,
and I you're exactly right. There's a lot of people that are wanting to move right now, and they're looking for a reason to move. And as rates get lower and lower, if you're sitting in a 3.5% interest rate, which a lot of people are out there, tons of people are, and you own a house, then things have to be at least close before you're going to go say, okay, I'm going to go jump into a 7.5%. I'm not going to do that. I don't know who would do that because it just changes the amount of house you can afford. Those people usually don't have a choice to have to move, right? But anybody who has a choice, and there's a lot of people that want to move that have the choice, and they're choosing not to move right now. And as those rates come into the 6s and into the 5s, I think you're going to get a lot of those people that have been pent up wanting to do that to go do that at that point, which might create a little more inventory, but you're going to have a lot more buyers too. So it's not going to feel like there's much more inventory percentage-wise.
Right, exactly. But I do think that bridging that gap, because if you're sitting at a 3 and the interest rates are at a 5, not as big as if you're sitting at a 3 and they're at 8.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Especially if they've been in their home for the last 2.5 years. They bought it during COVID. The house is appreciated.
Yeah, they have a lot of equity in those properties right now. And that comes back to the first-time home buyer is going to have a hard time again.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have all these people with all this money and all this equity. They're going to jump into the market. And right now, if you're a first-time home buyer, this is the time to buy. You need to go right now, y'all, please.
Yes.
Because our prediction is they're going to jump back in and it's going to push you out of the market.
It is. There are programs that you can do that is 3% down.
Right.
And there are homes out there on the market. Inventory right now is very healthy.
Right.
We've got a couple of months of inventory across the boards in all the counties in DFW. And with that being said, this is the time they can do their 3% down, maybe negotiate, do a 2-1 buy down.
Right. They can get the lower interest rates right now and have those until they refinance.
Yep. And so there is, those advantages. Plus, there's less competition of buyers on the market.
To add to the final prediction here is I'm going to say that, remember how people felt when right before COVID and they didn't want to buy a house yet, right? They were like, you know what? I don't want to buy a house. And then all of a sudden the market exploded and they said, you know what? I don't want to jump in that market because there's people doing their bidding, right? And in the very beginning it was kind of light. It was bidding wars, but it was light. And everybody's like, I'm going to wait until that happens. And what happened?
A year later, it was even,
it was like 50% higher on the same house. Crazy.
It was crazy. So then they were kicking themselves. I should have just done it there.
And it cost them so much money by waiting. I don't think it's going to be as bad this time. I don't think we're going to see that. But I can tell you right now, if you're here today and you're even lightly considering it, if you wait and say, I'm going to wait till next year, you're going to be kicking yourself and saying, gosh, what was I thinking? Because, it's very predictable right now. I think it's a very predictable market. I mean, no one knows 100%, but I can tell you this, it is very likely that it's going to cost you considerably more a year from now than it is today.
Oh, definitely. So we have that little scare.
Right.
Now it's settling down, and that people that have been waiting, if interest rates come down a little bit into this, low 6s, even into the 5s, they are going to be able to at that point because they're making enough on their house. They have enough equity in their house that they feel like they aren't just going to a lateral move, they're going up.
Right, exactly.
And that's what they're wanting to do.
And one of the other things that I hadn't realized the other day, we were talking to a client and they were like, I really can't afford the payments and I really want to. And they were just a little bit more than their budget, right? Because they were renting right now. And we really kind of started talking through it with them. And they found that they were spending so much money on subscriptions to, Hulu's and Netflix and Disney and all. And I said, just cut that out for a short period of time. They saved them like $200 a month in subscriptions.
Wow.
When they went through it, they were like, you know what? I'm going to make this work. So I think we all need to do that right now. I mean, I don't care if you're buying a house or not. We need to go look at those subscriptions right now. But it was just a way to not eating out as much. We get caught in eating out all the time. I mean, there's just so many ways to actually save money that you forget, that other than, you got to get out of your lifestyle just a little bit, but it's not nearly as much as you think.
No.
If you want it bad enough. And I'll tell you that the upside on owning a house versus renting is huge.
Think of it as a savings account. You're building equity into it. So then when you do, decide you want to move, you've got money. That first time you're rounding up, trying to get, your down payment.
Right.
Well, when you sell that house, your equity in there is going to be your down payment.
Right.
And so I think that is a really good thing to think about. Again, it's your savings account. You're building savings. You're building a financial nest egg. And you can't do that if you're renting, because I like to say you're flushing it down the toilet.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And we said it before that, that's amazing stat that I just can't stop saying and looking at, which is people who own homes have 38 times more net worth than people who rent.
Yes.
38 times. That's huge.
So my prediction is that I'm going to be wearing more running shoes because we were running around.
So her prediction is she's going to be comfortable because she's going to be so busy.
Yes, because y'all are going to be calling.
That's her prediction. I like your prediction, by the way.
I am excited for this year. I think, again, if you are sitting on the fence, give Jeff a call. It's a good time to go ahead and get started because if there is anything that needs to be ironed out, this is the time to get it done. So then you're ready to make that purchase.
We'll just get a plan, have you ready to go. Yep. Very easy, y'all.
And then we get to go shopping.
There you go. That's the fun part.
Here's to 2024.
There we go. Let's go, y'all.